Hello. Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm a Mindfulness Fellow at the Center for Spirituality, Dialogue, and Service. And today we're going to do a short guided meditation on being present in the given moment. So we can begin by making sure we're seated in a way that is comforting, grounded. Maybe your legs are crossed or you're seated in a chair. Allow yourself to get comfortable and tap into what you're feeling. Maybe you want to keep your hips above your knees and your knees above your toes. So once you find this position, maybe you're on a pillow or in a seat or even laying, we're going to slowly bring our attention inward using 3 deep breaths with intention behind them. Now you can allow your eyes to either gently close if you're comfortable with that, or cast them just a couple feet in front of you. And return back to your normal breathing pattern. Let's take a few moments to observe our breath. How could we describe it? What breath is most comfortable for us? Is your breath particularly deep or shallow? Do you breathe in through your nose or your mouth? What do you feel at the peak of your inhale? Do you feel tightness in your shoulders, your chest rising, your stomach inflating, cool air rushing in? And what about your exhale? What feelings does this bring? How can you describe it? Focus on your breath. Maybe imagine your breath in your mind. Maybe visualize a expanding and shrinking orb that sinks with each inhale and with each exhale. in the center of your mind. Allowing yourself to devote your attention entirely to it. Find calm and peace in your breath and allow your environment to slowly fade away. Every sound and taste, smell, or sight, allow them to slowly leave your attention. Allow everything to leave one by one, watching them go until it's just you and your breath. And as your mind wanders, maybe it's fixated on something in your environment, something in your past, or something that you want to happen or don't want to happen in the future. Allow yourself to acknowledge where your mind is going, what you are drawn to. But try not to push that thought away and try not to hold on to that thought. Remove your interactions with the thought. Watch your reactions to the thought. And simply wait for it to leave. Watch it exit. And then gently bring your attention back to your breath, back to this glowing, shrinking, and growing orb. Maybe you want to pick a physical sensation that you observed that your breath brings you, and you want to hold that in the center of your mind. Maybe that works better for you in anchoring your mind. Maybe you focus on the feeling of that cool air rushing in through your nose, or the warm air exhaling out. Maybe visualize your breath as a glowing light, an energy with some color to it that you are breathing out into your environment, filling the space that you're in, watching it become gradually more full. Maybe you want to visualize a flame flickering in response to your breath. And when your breath is steady and even, so is the flame. Maybe on a strong exhale, the flame is affected. Imagine this flame in your mind and watch the impacts of your breath. How can you control this flame? What can't you control? Carry a visualization or a physical anchor with you throughout the rest of our practice to help ground you and help you focus on your breath. Hopefully there was something that worked for you. And as we continue on, now we're going to be doing a body scan in which we will spend time and energy with each part of our body, breathing into and filling that part with air and energy and attention and understanding. And then exhaling, letting it out, and breathing in, raising our attention into a new body part. So we can go through this breathing exercise. Let's take a deep breath together. And send our attention to our toes on our next inhale. What do we feel here? Are they cold? Do we feel our socks or shoes or carpet? Are our feet tired, sore? And at your own pace, breathe out of this area. Raise your attention. Breathe into your feet or ankles. And continue to spend time in each area, acknowledging the experience. Asking yourself questions, maybe finding small movements. And once you get to your hips or your seat, I want you to spend a little extra time here at your root, noticing what energy is here. Do we feel tightness? Do we feel open? This is a powerful area of our body. Spend some time breathing into this area, filling it up with air and energy and intention, opening and freeing this area at our root. And then moving on to our next area, rising, breathing in, raising our attention to our gut. Our second brain. Maybe allow a hand to find your stomach and take a couple breaths here, feeling what this area is experiencing. And moving through, giving your attention to your back, your lower back. Maybe allow yourself to find movement in the form of a seated cat and cow, just to get in touch with your back, understand what movement feels like, what feels good. What does your back want from you? Again, raising your attention at your pace to your heart, your chest, your lungs. I love to sit here with my hand on my chest, feeling my pattern of breathing as well as the beating of my heart. This is quite a musical location. Spend some time here. How is your heart beating? Can you slow it down with 3 intentional breaths? And then moving on, allowing your attention to rise, discovering more and more in every location. Noticing your shoulders. Again, another place of tension along our throat. Our place of truth often is very tense along our neck and our shoulders. Noticing your arms. Tapping into your experience here. Allowing your hands to find one another if that feels good. Allowing your fingertips to press into one another. Creating unique circuits of energy with each finger. Notice what you feel. Maybe your hands are tired, cold. Maybe your arms feel uneven from one another. Maybe they're sore. Just notice. And then rise raise your attention once more. And if you're here finally at your head and your face, begin to find some facial movements. We carry so much tension here in our eyebrows and in our jaw, in our mouth. It can be really difficult to allow these muscles to let go. Maybe it feels good to scrunch your face up and let it go. Or allow 2 fingers to come below your ears and give yourself a massage to help your jaw loosen. And then allow yourself to find stillness. And in our next few breaths together, we will feel waves of tension rolling off every part of our body. Now that we understand what we're experiencing, we can let go. We can release muscles that we didn't know we were holding. So let's take a few intentional breaths together now. Allowing tension to melt away. And then the last exercise that we're going to do together is we're going to practice being the observer of our thoughts and of our mind. We know that we are not our thoughts, and our reactions to our thoughts are often the most painful part about them. And so if we can put some distance between ourselves and what happens in our minds, and we can find some level of peace and understanding of our thoughts. This is something that we can do anywhere, anytime. Just allow your mind to be where it is. Thoughts will come. Thoughts are there. What have you been thinking about? What preoccupies your mind? How have you been spending your mental time and energy? Acknowledge these things. Allow them to come floating in. Hold them in the center of your mind and allow them to drift away. Like watching clouds or a river constantly drifting. Allow your mind to keep this movement. One thought and then another. Although it may be hard to let go of some thoughts, some things we cling to, and others we push away. Right now is not the time for our judgments or our reactions to them. Now they all get equal time and attention. Don't place any judgments on what is coming up for you. Just acknowledge and allow it to pass. Wait for it to exit and for a new thought to enter. If you find thoughts bringing up questions, you find yourself questioning things that you are thinking, notice the questions, but don't answer them now. If you feel confused, if you feel any emotional reaction, acknowledge what you are feeling, but don't try to understand or get to the bottom of those feelings right now. Right now, we're taking inventory, we're noticing, acknowledging, not explaining. When you're ready, we're going to find a natural stopping point after one thought. And we're going to bring our attention back to our breath for just a couple moments more. I want you to pick an intention for your day for these next few breaths together. Is it to be present? Is it to practice being an observer? Is it to acknowledge, not explain, or maybe it's something completely different? Let's do a couple deep breaths together, in for 4 and out through pursed lips for 8. I want to thank you all for coming, and I will see you next week.